I wish I could say I'm never surprised by Jordan Brand at this point, but I really am surprised that these are back. I never thought that of all the colorways that this one would come back, especially out of the 06 run. This one? Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and review on these bad boys. I don't know, it's never been a favorite of mine, even though I used to own the original. And these, my friends, are the Air Jordan 5 in the green bean colorway. These smell kind of good. I'm a little shocked by that because there's no leather on these. You know what else smells good? New community features.
I'm listening.
Today's sponsor is the good folks over at Soul Savvy. However, we are not here to talk about Soul Savvy as a community per se, but it's a new feature that is currently available now for all community members. And that would be the brand new Collect app. It's essentially a peer-to-peer marketplace where you could buy, sell, trade, and showcase your collection, which is really cool. So the showcase aspect is really all about organizing what you have. And if you are a sneakerhead like me, you probably have way too much. So on your shelf, you actually can showcase your collection. It's a great way to just kind of organize and like have your own inventory so you know exactly what you have in your closet or in your collection at one time. Now on top of that, there is the main section, which is again, the buy, sell, trade aspect. So a lot of people, you can filter this through your size, which is really easy to use, which I really love. But other community members, just like yourself, can showcase what you've got, put it up for trade, put it up for sale, and the greatest part about the sale aspect of it is that it's all for retail or less. There are two special things to note, by the way. The first thing is that there are no seller fees, it's all included, so that's really cool. The second thing is that the retail price is actually what you spent on it. So these, for example, if you paid retail, then you would list them at retail or less. However, if you paid resale, so say you paid 400 bucks for these things, that is now the highest price that you can actually list them for. It's basically like getting your money back if possible. Now, if all of this sounds really interesting to you and you are currently a member of Soul Savvy and you have not downloaded the app, I highly suggest that you do so. And if you are not a member and you wanted to join and be part of this thing, well, there's gonna be a link down below in the description box. You can click it, it'll head you over to Soul Savvy's website where you can read more about it and then join from there. And with all that being said, should I talk about how I got these? Back in the day. So 2006 is when the shoe originally released. It was not on my radar whatsoever. However, there was a women's release that was very similar that was on my radar. I was unable to get those. They were essentially the same exact thing. It's just that they were not reflective. It was actually a gray nubuck shoe, and then all of the green bean accents were a really soft pink. A very similar pink to what was just on those dark mocha 3s or whatever they called them, the Neopala. I don't know, too many names. But out of the two releases, I actually thought that the women's release was way cleaner. Mostly because it didn't reflect. I don't like reflective material. Like, I don't like all reflective material. I like little pieces of it. Okay. But anyways, there was this website called Craigslist at the time. I believe it's still around. It's not as creepy as it used to be, although it might be. And I actually met somebody, like he would put up his shoes that he had for sale or for trade. And I don't remember what I traded him for these. I think he offered them to me for something that I had. And I was like, yeah, fine. And then we ended up trading them back to each other. Yeah, I know, it was so strange. I can't remember his name for the life of me, which sucks, but if he watches, like, what's up, man? I still remember. But anyways, that's how I got the original green bean 5s. Now, these guys right here, do they compare to that shoe? I'm gonna say no. The first thing, the shape is just weird. This toe is not it, guys. Like, this is really squared, like really boxy. It doesn't look good. The toe down view is probably the worst thing I've seen in a minute. They are very similar to the new Raging Bull 5 and all of that stuff, so that same style of shape. If you like that shape, I think that's great. It's their way of trying to get back to the OG shape. However, they're missing one key aspect, and that's this little piece right here at the tip of the toe where the originals actually moved up just a little bit. So they still were thin, just like this. They're so close, man. Like, I don't know how they're not able to actually do this properly, especially since this is the brand that made the original pair. It's not like this is like a knockoff brand or somebody bought the brand from Jordan or Nike or whatever, and now they're trying to figure out how to make the shoes again. It's not even that. This is the same company doing the same for what, 36 years? But anyways, the toe right here had a little bit of a weird lip up. It looks way better than what this does, especially on this colorway when you have this reflective silver upper that looks like tinfoil. Now, there are a bunch of positives to this shoe. The first of which is this outsole is gorgeous, man. Look at that thing. God dang, this is sexy. I love it. And then moving on up, the polyurethane midsole is actually soft and comfortable, which is really surprising because some of them aren't. Inside of that polyurethane midsole is an encapsulated 4-foot air sole unit, and then there is a visible one right there at the heel. The insole, unfortunately, is a piece of It's a good thing that the midsole is actually kind of comfortable, because otherwise they'd be super bricks and that would suck a little bit. The upper is not like the originals. I don't know what kind of like reflective material they've been sourcing lately, but it has this really weird tinfoil-y look to it, and I don't like it. The original style of the reflective material used to almost feel like a fabric, like it almost looked like fabric on top of that. So I don't know where they're getting this stuff from. To me, it's either that the original company that made that stuff is no longer in business, or maybe they're priced out and this is kind of what they can afford for their budget. I really don't know. All I know is that it doesn't look the same. It does kind of give the same feel, obviously, when everything is like illuminated, which you can see right here. So it's still really reflective. So if you love this, then you're gonna love these. The tongue is a little bit of a different style, just barely, but not anything crazy. One little thing, most people don't care about this, some people do though, is that I don't know how they paint spilled right there, but it looks bad. It's great on the other pair. However, even the box has reflective splatter on it, dude. That is freaking cool. They still have the typical Air Jordan 5 tropes, which would be the clear netting on the side panels as well as on the tongue, the Air Jordan lace lock right there at the top, and the reflective tongue with the giant Jumpman. One thing to also note is that this tongue is nowhere near as skater puffy as some of the past ones. So this one is a lot thinner, which looks great and it feels great on foot. So I really dig that. So it's not, you know, all for nothing. They do seem to be tweaking things like as they make new shoes and new colorways and things like that. I just wish that it would be a little bit more consistent, because sometimes these look great in this new shape and sometimes, well, sometimes they don't. Oh, and there's also the Jumpman right there on the back. Those of you that have been buying Jordans since 2006 and even beyond, or before I should say, you guys already knew about this. It's not an original colorway. At the time, in 2006, this was considered, I believe, an LS, which was a lifestyle colorway. Now, since we were talking about in the very beginning of the video how, you know, the 2006 lineup of the Air Jordan 5 was really cool, why is this the one that they decided to bring back first? I really don't know, but I did want to talk about those 2006 colorways because I do think they are some of the best new colorways we've ever seen on an Air Jordan 5, and I think that they need some shine. By the way, if I missed any of these, blame it on Soul Collector, because that's where I'm getting this complete list from. The first one that they have listed is actually the black and university blue. It actually had contrast stitching along the upper, which some people really didn't like. I think it looked good though. Ooh, the sunset. That was a women's colorway. I used to have those too. Those were fantastic, man. They had buttery leather. I guess these were not an LS, because this one says Air Jordan 5 Retro LS Grape. So I don't know. Usually the LS stuff had like matching apparel. I thought these did have matching apparel. I really can't remember. It's been a long time, man. Oh, the Stealth. They did bring those back, and they brought them back really recently, and they didn't look the same. It was not good. And then there's those women's 5s. Man, those are so pretty. I really like those. I still do. They actually did bring those back, but it was as a grade school exclusive, so I couldn't get them again. Then there was the other LS, which is the olives. Those are actually really cool. Those ones aged really well, I think, because I remember looking at those the first time and being like, why do I want an olive Air Jordan 5? Now when I look at them, I'm like, okay, you guys were onto something. You were a little bit ahead of the game there. And then there's my favorite, the LS Burgundy. Holy shit. I'm shocked that those haven't come back. They're gorgeous, and they have contrast stitching, and they're made of premium ass leather. Well, it wasn't leather, it was nubuck, but it was awesome. And then there's the Fire Red. Again, that's another original colorway, so I guess we won't count that as the new stuff. Should we talk about the 2007 launches?
I thought we were just staying in 06.
We sure are. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size. Whatever you typically wear, that's exactly what I would order. I think that they fit really well. I love the way that the tongue is, not too fat. It's very, very clean. I dig it. I just don't love reflective stuff because the crease is weird.
Speaking of, because I'm in this world here, I know how much sneakerheads don't like creases. I have a solution.
What?
So I've been looking up a bunch of roller skating videos because I took my kids roller skating and it's reignited a passion that I didn't know was there. Anyways, you can take any sneaker you want and have them turned into a roller skate,
No,
which
are you
means
for real?
you will not crease your foot because it puts it on a...
Is that real though?
It is.
They keep the midsole and everything?
They put some kind of plate.
For real?
Yeah. So I saw like a bunch of Vans and stuff like that, but I'm sure you could do it with a Jordan.
Yo, that would be crazy. We see people do that with cleats.
Yeah.
They turn these into cleats for like baseball players and stuff like that, so I dig it. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you were interested in the Soul Savvy Collect app, make sure that you are a member. Again, links are down below in the description box. Sound off below and let us know what you think about the 2006 Green Bean 5s making a return here today in 2022. Not today, but
sometime soon.
it's gonna happen eventually because, you know, release dates moving around and stuff. So I don't know when, but be patient, it'll happen. I see a lot of people asking about these, so I do believe there is more interest in them now than there probably has been before. Also, out of all of those 2006 releases, not including the next year in 2007 where they did some of the other stuff like the lasers,
Yeah.
which one do you think they should bring back next? Please say Burgundy or the UNC or the olive. Bring them all back. Just make the shape a little bit better than this, okay? Okay. But thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. And until next time, guys, have a good one. Do you remember these from back in the day, though?
I do.
Do you remember me having them?
Oh, vaguely.
You blocked it from your memory? Is that bad?
There's just so many shoes that have come through my life.
This is true. This is true.